I think a lot. I tend to think a lot. The time is 43 minutes past 9 p.m. and I'm here in my bed, in my room, in my father's house, in Ibadan. Is it in Ibadan or at Ibadan? I think it's in Ibadan. In Ibadan, in Oyo State, in Nigeria, in Africa, on the planet. See, not in the planet. So it's at Ibadan. It's on the not on Ibadan. English language is a strange thing, man. In an ideal world, we should all be speaking Yoruba because I am Yoruba. Well, in an ideal world, we should not all be speaking Yoruba. In an ideal world, we should all be speaking our native language. But here we are. Here we are. Shout out to the white man and colonialism. But I'm thinking to myself that I want to change Nigeria. I want to fix Nigeria, to be precise. I am tired of always thinking of the next step that has to do with immigration. I'm genuinely tired of that. I have been an immigrant. I have traveled abroad. I have played the game. It's not so fascinating, really. And it is not as glamorous as you would think. And it is not as fulfilling either as you would expect. Nothing, and I mean nothing, in my own opinion, beats living in your own country. Nothing. Nothing beats having a country that is yours, that is developed. Imagine Nigeria was developed. And I know several people might see this video on the internet, some of which might not be Nigerians, but nothing beats living in your own country, having your own land being the desired place, having your own country as your own Canaan. Nothing beats that feeling. Coming back to Nigeria, back to my father's room, even played a much more enlightenment in this scenario for me. My previous apartment in Manchester was well furnished by me. I furnished that apartment with so many lovely and glamorous things. But when it was time for me to move out of that apartment, I needed to donate a couple of things and pack everything from that apartment to the next building I lived at or lived in. But you see, what I learned from living in my room now in Nigeria is that what is not yours is not yours. I am back in my room and the things here are mine. I don't have to move out of this room. Unlike my apartment in Manchester, where I had to move and I had to donate some things and pack my load. Here in my father's house, in my room, this is my room. From now till kingdom come, this will be my room. Whatever I furnish this room with will always be there, and I will not need to donate anything because I am being evicted. Well, my father and I might have a disagreement, but my own father will never evict me from the room because he is my family. And that is the difference in living abroad. Living abroad feels like you're living in a rented apartment. But living in Nigeria feels like you're living in a place that belongs to you. That is what living abroad and living in Nigeria feels to me. Although maybe I am speaking from a person who does not have a passport or a green card. And so that might be the difference. But I usually have these weird scenarios in my head before I left for the UK for the first time, which was, what if one day the British people wake up one morning and say every colored person, either you have a passport or not. What if one day they tell all of them to leave their country? Wouldn't that be something to be bewildered? I want to use big word. I don't know what bewildered means right now, but I think I do. But wouldn't it be something heartbreaking? Because I don't know if it can happen, but it is not something that is impossible. The same way I read that the period of getting a residency when you are on a sponsorship has gone from 5 years to 10 years, and how it will be implemented from autumn. The same way they can change their mind to that is the same way they can change their mind to doing several other things. Few, excuse me, few months ago, while I was in London, I read on the news that there was a protest in Belfast where or in which British people or Irish people, Northern Irish people, were asking immigrants to leave their country and they were protesting. This was on the news. And so this is not impossible. It is a slim case, or the chances of this happening is very slim, but it is not impossible. And I would ask you to think to yourself, is it actually very slim? They have colonized us. There is a quote that says, people who forget history or people who do not read history are prone to making the same mistakes. And although they have never kicked us out of their country before, historically speaking, they don't have our best interest at heart. And I am not saying this to propagate hatred. I am just speaking like an educated person. And so I have been pondering upon several thoughts, which includes me asking myself, Israel, should you go back to the UK and either switch to a different visa before going back, or going there to work, or just several other entries to the UK? I have also considered several other countries, but there is this one lingering thought. Israel, what about your country? Israel, you have a country. Israel, can't you fix your country? Israel, aren't you tired of running around? Israel, doesn't being an immigrant feel exhausting? Israel, what about your generations to come? Israel, you can't save yourself and your family alone. Israel, you cannot escape your identity. Israel, you cannot escape your skin color. Israel, you cannot escape who you are. And because of these thoughts, I just keep thinking on what's the real actual solution to my immigration problem would be. And the solution I came to conclusion is to fix my own country. The solution is to fix my own father's house rather than renting a fancy apartment. Because if I can no longer pay rent, I will get kicked out. But in my father's house, that is also my house. My room will forever be my room. Renovating it will be something that is mine for the rest of eternity. If I use my own personal money to renovate a rented apartment, that is wasted resources. While I'm living in the rented apartment, I can choose to renovate it because I am currently living there. But a rented apartment will never be my own apartment. And although, thank God they've brought light, and although there is the aspect of getting the passport of whatever country you migrate to, you cannot change your skin color. If you migrate to the UK and you get a British passport today, you will still be a black person from Africa. Whether, or excuse me, either you have an accent or not, either your children are given birth to there or not, they will still remain Africans and they will forever remain Africans. And this got me thinking, which is that why are we running away from who we are when we can fix who we are? We can fix where we are from. We can fix our identity. We can fix our Father's house. Guys, this is the 21st century and we don't even have constant electricity in Nigeria. Throughout my entire stay in the UK, the light, which is the electricity in the country, never blinked. And guess what? We have more mineral resources than the entire United Kingdom. Nigeria, in West Africa, in Africa, has more mineral, natural resources than the United Kingdom. That is England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland combined. And yet, we are running to these places when we can actually fix what is ours. We can repair what is ours. I don't know about you watching this, but if you are an immigrant watching this, as an ex-immigrant, I find it exhausting living as an immigrant. It is excruciatingly exhausting. I know that Nigeria cannot be fixed in a day, not in a year, not in a decade, probably not even in a century. But we can start right now and start fixing Nigeria. Every single one of us. Guys, we can make Nigeria as beautiful as the UK. We can. The only question is, are we going to? Are we willing to make the sacrifices? Are we willing to make the efforts? Are we willing to actually come together as a nation and build what is ours? Because what is yours is yours, but what is not yours will never be yours. Even if you steal it, even if you borrow it, even if they lend it to you, that is still the same as borrowing. Or even if they give you, it will never be yours. It will be something that was either lent to you, something that you stole, or something that was given to you, compared to what is actually yours. Nigeria is your birthright. Nowhere else is yours. All these other locations are borrowed. You might be able to borrow it for a century. You might be able to borrow it for a millennium. But guess what? If a revolution starts today, they will separate people by their skin colors. God forbid, but if a world war starts today, they will separate people by their skin colors. And I know that you have your fundamental human rights, but all that is just written documents. Things can change. Let us wake up. Black man, wake up. Let us fix our nation. I beseech you. If you want to fix Nigeria as much as I want to, and you want to fix Nigeria alongside me, welcome to this community, and let us try and fix Nigeria. Let us start thinking of ways to fix Nigeria. Let us start strategizing. Let's not just talk about it. This is not content. This is what I have been thinking about for a couple of months now, intensely. I have been thinking about this even before I left Nigeria, but leaving Nigeria actually gave me more enlightenment. Sometimes I think to myself, if I had gotten sponsorship, would I still say this? Guys, you need to be there. Sponsored people, or rather, people with sponsorship, which is still sponsored people, you need to see the quality of life. And I'm not talking about stress, I'm not talking about lack of payment. I'm saying that it is not the same thing compared to living in your own land. People are different. People have different worldviews. But my worldview is to live in a place where you have total and absolute freedom. 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 And although we also don't have freedom in Nigeria, these are things that we can easily fix here in Nigeria because this is ours. And whatever we fix in Nigeria is something that would serve us long and long and longer, and we will pass it on to our incoming generation. Like and subscribe.